Crazy Nancy Mace.
Masquerading as MAGA, but
The first thing Nancy Mace did was...
Georgia rapper Jay Wick has been arrested and charged with attempted murder, and everyone thought this must be a self-defense situation. Someone probably ran up on him and tried him thinking shit was sweet. Well, new details are stating that apparently Jay Wick allegedly shot his own homie. May 6th, 2026, Bay County sheriffs would take to Instagram, of all places, to announce the arrest of 26-year-old Donald Anderson, aka Jay Wick.
Yo, Panama City, Florida, April 25th, I will be at Vibes. I'm bringing the whole gang with me. I got YALL Global, GD Glock, Speedball, so I'm bringing the whole crew with me. We're gonna put on a show, 229 weekend. All my folk gonna be there. Grab your folks, y'all folk pop out, let's do it.
Your truck out here?
Now, the post itself would read, Atlanta artist arrested for Bay County beach shooting. If you think you can come to Bay County, commit violent crimes, and walk away, you're wrong. Well, technically they're wrong because he didn't just clap some shit. He performed that same night and then went all the way back to Atlanta.
An Atlanta rapper who was visiting Panama City Beach for a performance was arrested on a charge of attempted first-degree murder.
Bay County Sheriff Tommy Ford says 26-year-old Donald Anderson, also known as Jay Wick, shot an 18-year-old the night of April 25th.
Understandable Jay Wick performed at Vibes nightclub, according to Bay County Sheriff Tommy Ford. But Ford says before he got on stage, he was right here at Beach Access 83, where at around 11 p.m., he shot an 18-year-old male multiple times and then fled the scene.
Quick pause, because this might actually help you out. If you've ever needed access to your money as a you can get a favorite partner at Hand Create Card, which is definitely like Jay Wick has been arrested and charged with attempted first-degree murder after shooting an 18-year-old multiple times at Beach Access 83 on April 25th. After opening fire, Anderson fled the scene and continued his night as if nothing happened. That is a true professional. I respect the hustle. Clap somebody at 11, go to work by midnight. That is a man of his word. He was booked and he showed up. But our investigators didn't stop. They tracked him across state lines to the Atlanta area, where working alongside federal and local partners, he was taken into custody. A firearm was recovered at the time of his arrest. Let this be clear, it does not matter who you are, where you're from, or why you're here. If you come to Bay County and commit violent crimes, we will find you. You will be arrested and you will be held accountable. Now, they didn't really give any details in that Instagram post. They just tried to make Jay Wick sound like John Wick. So let's break down the details you may not know from the information that's publicly available. Jay Wick was scheduled to perform at Club Vibes in Panama City Beach for his birthday weekend. So the Georgia artist traveled his way down to Florida's Panhandle. Now, for those not familiar with Florida, when you think of Florida, you think of like the gold teeth, the wicks. That style is more so coming from areas like Miami, Broward, Palm Beach, Tampa, Orlando, Fort Myers. That's the Florida people think of, right? So Florida's kind of like split in half. The other half is like the country. You know what I mean? Like, even the white guys in Florida, they'll kind of sound hood, you know, black, more urban, cultured. But once you go past Central Florida, they start talking like this, boy. They start, where you from, boy? You ain't from around. Like, it gets a whole, it's, a lot of people joke around saying North Florida is basically South Georgia. Now, you do have Jacksonville, which has its own drill scene that everybody knows about. And then you have Tallahassee, where obviously T-Pain came out of, Boston Richie came out of. But other than that, there really ain't shit up there. Specific area of
I always fuck with T-Pain. I swear to God, even now, I always fuck with T-Pain. I ain't never fuck with no goddamn Boston Richie. Balls back. Do you know him? Man, your balls. No, but I'm not answering your questions. You on some what type of shit that is, man? To drop in the chat. What the hell you on, man?
Panama City is that's called the Panhandle. You know what I mean? And the Panhandle is notoriously known for some of the most violent prisons in the state of Florida, and that just isn't a reflection of the inmates, but the staff as well. A lot of
What if I said they blue? What would you say?
those small country ass towns, the prison is the main income. So when you get to that prison, the warden's wife is the head nurse, and then her son is the captain. His brother is the sergeant, and then the sergeant's best friend from high school is the officer. So if you fuck with one of them, you fuck with all of them. The reason I'm telling you this is because Bay County Sheriff's police their
How
county the
crossing
same
the line?
way as the prisons.
You said they
Panama
black.
City
I said
Beach
they
has been a
blue.
spring break spot for decades, and while they like their money, they do not tolerate tourists or bullshit. April 25th at 11 p.m., sheriffs responded to reports of gunshots at a house party. Arriving on scene, they'd find an 18-year-old victim who'd been shot multiple times, laying by himself on a sidewalk. The group he'd been with was down the street at a rental property, and with the police presence, many potential witnesses began fleeing the scene, and some were even hiding in closets within the rental, attempting to avoid officers. The Bay County Sheriff's captain stated the victim and Jay Wick knew each other, were staying at the same place, and they'd even traveled together from Georgia.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet
What?
Base 44.
So this is interesting. They came together from Georgia. This got to be one of his homies, somebody he's really familiar with. And he ended up clapping the shit out of him, shot him multiple times, allegedly. But it's like, for what?
Yeah,
what
but
would
why?
have led up to something like that? Because when we all
Only thing I could think, the homie was there really to rob him or do something to him, and somebody told him like, "Hey man, so and so trying to do something to you, woo woo," and that's the only thing I could think. That's what that sounds like.
heard the story, that didn't come to mind. We're thinking somebody must have ran up on him and tried playing with him. You know what I'm saying? If he's got jewelry, maybe they tried him for that. But nah, this was his own homie. Even the Bay County Sheriff would react to the news.
It's disturbing that you could shoot somebody and to the point that they were almost dead. They were in critical condition and still not in very good condition, and then go on to perform like that.
Now, after Jay Wick performed at the club, he's said to have went back to Georgia, and a team of 3 investigators were sent after him, interviewing witnesses and collecting surveillance in Georgia. U.S. Marshals, Atlanta PD, and Clayton County PD would work with Bay County in locating Jay Wick, finding him at a mall, and placing him under arrest. And they would note at the time of his arrest, he was armed with a gun. Investigators would also speak with the victim in the hospital, who was apparently fully cooperating against Jay Wick. Not only would he identify Wick as the one who shot him, he'd say he came with him as part of his security team to provide protection. Now, when he got shot, he said Wick walked down to the beach with a female, so he followed behind to protect him. And when Wick was walking back, he asked him, "You straight?" To which Wick replied, "Yeah," before opening fire without any argument or physical altercation. The victim also told police he had a gun with him, but he didn't have it on him when he was shot.
Nah, gang. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, gang. Nah, they don't, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. I know a lot of white boys, man. I know a lot of white boys hang around a lot of white boys, man. They ain't fixing to just shoot you for no reason. I don't give a fuck what. I don't give a fuck how many pills they own and how bad they geeking and all. They ain't just fixing to just do that for no reason. So I don't know.
And officers would find a Glock on the scene, as well as spent shell casings.
I'm talking about this. No matter how gangster they is or think they is or whatever. I'm talking about generally. Nah, I ain't never experienced that before.
Come to find out, this was Jay Wick's rental, and one of his security would drag the victim to the sidewalk prior to police arriving. To be completely honest, this story doesn't make sense. For him to just walk up randomly and start shooting you, something isn't adding up.
Nah.
Right? Not only that, what's gonna
Nah.
hurt Jay Wick in this case?
Nah.
He fled the scene, so he didn't stay on the scene, which is what you're supposed to do legally if it's a stand your ground situation. But what's gonna hurt him the most is he hasn't given his side of the story. The only side of the story that's been heard is the victims and the witnesses. And the victim is flat out saying, I didn't argue with him. I didn't, there was nothing leading up to this. There was no physical altercation. He just pulled out and shot me and tried to kill me.
Nah.
If Jay
I don't
Wick
believe that.
is thinking from the perspective of, oh, I gotta save my career. I can't say nothing because all these other rappers done got exposed and I can't have that. It's, I'm not solidified yet in the game. I can't do a Young Thug where he already got all these hit songs and everybody just bypasses the interrogation. Jay Wick can't have that type of shit come out right now. It's gonna fuck his whole career up. So if he's thinking he's just gonna play the silent game, that's gonna hurt him. He is gonna have an excuse as to why he stood his ground in the state of Florida. Now, according to reports, Jay Wick is facing up to life in prison for attempted murder with a minimum mandatory 25 years. The complete opposite of what you want to hear when you're a rising rapper who's just starting to go viral. Currently held in the Clayton County Jail, Jay will be getting sent to Florida within the next 10 days to face a judge. With the surprising news he allegedly shot one of his own people, his off-the-porch interview is looking even more suspect, as those around him don't seem to be too happy, and the comments would be telling him to get far away from them. And shit, we don't even know if who got shot is sitting on that porch with him. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is just the reality of these things. When you see rappers have these huge entourages, they're probably really close friends with like 2 or 3 of them. Everyone else is just there for the image. Like, yeah, bring more people, because this is how things work in public. It can be you and your 2 toughest homies, and all 3 of y'all tough as hell, and you might even have guns too, right? But if there's like 10 goofy motherfuckers, they'll still try you because there's 10 of them. And in their mind,
exactly.
10 outweighs 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though the 3 of y'all could possibly beat the brakes off them, if all 10 of them got guns, even though they soft, it still kind of favors their way and they'll still try you. So a lot of these rappers will bring 30 people with them just because there's power in numbers. People are gonna look and like, yeah, we're not trying 30 people, bro. Like, we're not even gonna get to who we want to get at. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when I say he popped his own homie, just take that with a grain of salt, because we don't know how close he was to this kid. This kid's 18. He probably just brought him because he's a young gun. Like, yeah, you want to stand around here with a gun and just come to all my shit and that's it? You're going to sleep on the couch or something in my B&B? Fuck it. You know what I mean? So we don't know what the relationship was. This kid could have tried to pull some slimy shit, tried to snake him, and then when he gets shot, he fucking just folds and completely rats, and he's like, oh no, this is what happened. I didn't do anything. I'm the victim in this situation. We don't know because the information has not yet been released. And like I said, the biggest aspect of this is going to be his defense. How he tries to defend himself in this situation. I believe he was about to fucking perform at Rolling Loud too, which is supposed to be in Orlando, and that just got fucked because YoungBoy just decided that he's not even gonna perform. But
Hi, my name is Tami, and I would like to give you a few reasons why you should consider
this is not what you want as a rising rapper. You do not want to catch an attempted murder charge. He's not a felon, so I don't think he has to worry about the gun or anything like that.
Yeah, what a donut. What's up, Brody?
From this situation, it's very difficult to piece together a conclusion.
Shit, man.
When we don't know exactly what went on.
I got a badass headache, man. Unfortunately, man, you came at the end of the damn screen, bro. I gotta lay down, bro. I got a bad headache. That shit just happened to me like 30 minutes ago, literally. What you on though, man? You straight?
Why the police are trying to paint this like, oh look, we're this big bad county. You come over here and do something, we're frying you.
Yeah, man. Fucking, I hate migraines, bro. That shit's so annoying.
Y'all don't really know what the fuck happened either. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just immediately be like, yeah, we're gonna make an example out of this motherfucker. And sadly, that's what they're doing. They plastered him all over social media. They posted the pictures of him in the back of the vehicle, whatever. They want to make an example out of him. And that's gonna fuck him up badly, because when you have a judicial system that's set on making examples so people, as in tourists,
It's not, bro. And then it's like it's so weird because I get this thing to where I get like blurry vision, and then like depending on which side it want to hurt on, like that's the eye that it get blurred, and then soon as it get back to regular, I catch a migraine, bro, on that side, and it's just that side. And this shit happens, and it don't happen all the time, but when it do, bro, it's that shit sucks, man. I done been to the hospital for it, and they say they don't know like what is there. They say they can't find nothing that relates to that issue. So I don't know, bro. I don't know if it's genuinely just something weird my body do or what, bro. But that shit's so annoying.
don't visit that specific place and think that they can fuck off, that puts you in a worse situation. And they even came out and said, yeah, we've been having a lot of problems with the same club he performed at. It's an urban club. Why do you think? When they talk like this here, you know what I'm saying? They don't want urban clubs and rappers coming down. Nah, so the second something pops off, they're gonna take you, they're gonna make a public example out of that ass. And it ain't gonna end well. Florida does have 10-20 life. I don't know why exactly he would have a 25 minimum mandatory sentence and up to life. And just to break that down, what that is saying is, if he gets sentenced to the minimum, the bare minimum, it would be 25 years to the door. No early release, no gain time, no, the whole 25. If he gets 30, he has to complete 25 before he can start getting early release time off of the additional 5, leaving 30. You understand what I'm saying? Florida is strict. Like, the laws down here, it's not as sweet as people think. Like, don't look at Kodak Black beating all his cases and think that that's you, because you don't have the money to afford the lawyer that he got. The normal motherfuckers down here get bammed and put away forever.
Yeah.
Like, you got first time offenders that get fried with a 20 piece. So it's like,
damn. Whew.
This could be a career ending situation. Hopefully it's not. If he gets bond, he'll be able to
I just want to know what it was
still
about.
stack up his money, you know what I mean? And hopefully that's what happens.
Because,
They
bro,
move
he,
his whatever.
I mean, you know, luckily, man, the dude, you know, escaped. And I ain't gonna say escape, but scathed. Lucky he scathed away with his life. But I mean, at the end of the day, bro, ain't nah, bro. He ain't nah, bro. Now if it would have been somebody like uh what young rapper right now just want it so bad? Probably it's somebody like the Island Boys or uh somebody similar to a Kodak, or you know, so if it's some shit like that, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, bro, just being stupid ass. He want to catch a body, and you know what I mean. Just say he did it, but you know, bro, we talking about a Jay Wick, we talking about a Eminem. You get what I mean, like. And I ain't even gonna say Eminem, cause bro, he never was like on no super tough shit. He just always was on some him shit. Like, you know, he did what he did. He ran around with people in the streets and shit like that. But he was just always just on some him shit. These motherfuckers just genuinely be just on some tough acting shit. You know what I mean? Just pure tough acting, which is so crazy. Hell was always screaming. Shit, that's why I quit smoking. Hell was always screaming. When you smoke, the smoke fills your lungs, which stops oxygen from getting to the brain. Blackout occasionally. You know what, bro? And I always related that though to like me smoking, like, and I really genuinely think that's really it's genuinely probably what it is, man. You know what I mean? It's genuinely probably what it is. Um, but I just like my herbs, man. I just like my herbs, and you know it don't. You know, we that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother different conversation. But yeah, I know, bro. I know. It definitely probably got something to do with smoking. I know for sure. Um, but yeah, man. I don't know. I want to hear the real story behind that, cause nah, that was a little too spicy for just talking about walking back on the beach, and I asked him was he straight, and then he popped me. Bro, that sounded that don't that that's the right type of story, wrong type of person to try to make it sound up to. You know what I mean? It ain't that ain't it's not lining. It's not lining. You know what I mean? But that's gonna do it for the screen, man. I gotta get off here. I gotta lay down for a second. I gotta find some damn medicine. Shit, this I hate when this shit happens. But y'all be good, man. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Hopefully, cause usually when this happens, it lasts all day. Like sometimes it'll go like my migraine will last 2 days. So hopefully it don't, man. I'll be able to take some medicine and lay down and be straight. I probably won't even lay down. I'll probably just sit up a little bit and make sure I take the medicine. But anyway, man, y'all be good, bro. I'm about to get off here, man. I'm gonna catch y'all later on, man. I love y'all. I'm out, man. Peace. Uh, all right. Do the same, twin. I'm gonna holler at you, man. Whoa.